Okay, so this is the second part of our lab environment, Windows Server 2025. I'm actually going to be shutting this down here pretty soon, but just another quick walkthrough of the environment. We have two servers. We have our data center, and then we have Azure. So this is located in the East US. This is located in the West US. So we're stretching regions and replicating synchronously. So if I make a change on this domain controller, it's going to replicate over to the other, vice versa. And let's do exactly that. So let's go down here and turn off my camera so you don't have to keep looking at me. And I promise I'll turn it back on. And let's go and create a user. And what am I going to call this user? Copy. We'll just copy a user. We'll call it Josh Allen. Just giving it a random password. Very good. Okay. So because this is a lab environment and I'm working with finite amount of resources for compute and storage and bandwidth, I'm going to actually force the replication because I don't feel like waiting a few more seconds. Note that if you're using something like ExpressRoute or if you have dark fiber, you really wouldn't have to do this because it would replicate over as if it was a secondary domain controller living right in your data center. But for demonstration purposes, and if you ever have to troubleshoot, let's force the sync. So if I hit enter, let's watch it. And it's going to go through and replicate. Now, if it wasn't working, or if you had any replication issues or connectivity issues, you would see all sorts of errors. We didn't see any, so that's a good sign. So if we go down here and then click refresh, there's Josh Allen. Very cool. So that's how that works for this lab environment. This is just a proof of concept. It's all dummy data. Don't go in tomorrow and say, "Oh, I'm going to try this," and no, don't do that. This is a lot of planning and preparation, and a lot of Microsoft knowledge before doing this. I'm actually certified in Azure, and also working on the AZ800 for hybrid server admin. So this is actually why I'm doing this video to help prep for that. So we're dealing with VMs at your data center and VMs in the cloud. So if there's enough time, what are we at? 3 minutes, 24 seconds. I'm going to show you the Azure VNet real quick. So this is the VM we just remoted into. Now note I'm using the public IP address. I'm not using the, no, I'm using the private IP address, the Class A, not the public. Sorry. I'm not, yeah, I don't have to use the public IP address. I'm just connecting with the private IP address. So that's because I have a VPN tunnel set up between Azure and the and my company data center. So if I go to the virtual networks and click on VNet 2 and go to subnets, my Azure VM lives on TiCorp subnet, and my VNet virtual network gateway, as you can see, the tunnel ingress egress. And if we go to the connections, we'll see that the status is connected. Very good. We have the connection type, which is obviously Site-to-Site IPsec, and then the peer. Now all this is configured in the PowerShell script I built. There's a template, and then I just modified that template with the appropriate settings I have for my lab environment. And then once this is deployed, then I add that configuration to my firewall, in this case for my lab firewall, and then once I configured that on the firewall side of things on premises, then we would verify a connection between sites. So one way to help with that is if you download the you can download scripts for your vendor hardware. So in this case, let's go with like a generic example, device parameters, and then we'll just say this and download. I've done this a bunch of times tonight because I'm trying to go through and get a decent video for you that's not forever. So if I do that and then double click, this is the information I can use as a baseline, and this is all the parameters I would use to build out the tunnel on the firewall side of things. So that's a pretty cool thing that you have. Like, you can also connect to the CLI on the firewall and deploy from that, but in this case I actually built it from scratch based on this template. Or as long as you have the information that you need, which I did because I built it in Azure, then it's pretty simple to set up on the firewall side. So I think that's it. I'm at the 6-minute mark. Is there anything else I want to show you? Yeah, another note. So this is my okay. So if you look at this server, you'll see a bunch of roles and features installed. Don't do that. I mean, if you do it, don't beat yourself up. Or if you have it, or if it was set up before, don't be like, oh, why is it like? But if it's a domain controller, don't add anything else. That's just a bad idea, and it's against Microsoft best practices. The only thing that should be running on your domain controller is Active Directory, domain services, and DNS. So if we hop on our Azure VM, you're going to see AD, DS, and DNS. That's it. Nothing else is installed, just that. The only reason why I added additional roles and features is because I'm limited compute and storage resources. So I only had a limited amount of memory and processing power I could allocate to this to this lab VM for my environment. So that's it. My DHCP server that's running on this server, again, you'd want to run that on a separate server. Same with like web services, IIS, network policy server, the file services that I installed. Like, each would have their own dedicated server that's domain joined, so you're not overloading your domain controller with unnecessary resources and utilizations. So I'm trying to talk quickly and I'm tripping on my tongue. So this is my Azure or my VNet lab, and it's relayed. So this is my primary DHCP server. I just needed to spin one up really quickly. So that's it. I'm going to end this video.